7:48. Let's have a quick look through the papers with Emma Wolfe and Stephanie Tetchy. Morning, you two.
Morning.
Can we, because we teased it, can we have a look at dry January? This is in the Sunday Express, Emma.
Yeah, well, there's been a booming start to the year. It seems that most people that decided to go alcohol-free at the start of the year have abandoned it. Not even halfway through. Pubs are booming. 200 million pints have been quaffed. I think about half each, sort of mostly at home. Sorry, 110 million at home and then 90 million within pubs. The pubs are apparently laughing. They're having a great time, slashing their prices, 25% off a pint.
Wow.
The price of a pint.
That's good.
And people have just thought, I mean, I suppose with the cold and everything, people think, well, that's a good way to warm up.
Yes, a lot of ologists think it's a really bad month to try sort of giving something up.
Oh, I think it's
because
the best.
it's so bleak.
I'm day 14 of dry January, and I feel amazing. My sleep feels better, my thought process feels better. I don't feel sluggish. I'm hoping to actually do 6 months without alcohol.
Hang on a minute, I've done about 5 years without alcohol. I don't feel like better and more bouncing and more better.
Well, because I drink a lot at all these parties and stuff, so I'm just like, my body...
social life.
Yeah, my body's just grateful for the break.
What do you drink instead, then? If you're at these do's and you're offered something alcoholic, what do you have?
Sparkling water.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just like a bit of the fizz and sparkling water. Last night, when I was at my auntie's birthday, I had non-alcoholic red wine, which just tasted like I was drinking Merlot.
Yeah, it's quite good, all this...
But I bet it's fattening, isn't it?
No, it's not. It's very low. It's low calorie.
Is it? Indeed?
Yes, because the calories are in the alcohol.
Yeah, but I do think it's a good month to give up, because I think it starts your year as you mean to go on.
I think it's good to prove to yourself that you can, as well.
Yeah, I do think so. And also, you know, all the specialists say it's good to give your liver a break. So even if you are drinking in the week, it's always very important to have a couple of completely alcohol-free days. So this is obviously giving your liver a proper regeneration.
I hope so, and getting rid of my beer belly.
Tell us, Stephanie, about Cliff Richard, who is so squeaky clean and has been all his life.
Yeah, squeaky clean Cliff Richard. I just love him to bits. But he went against the grain of the rock and roll lifestyle. So back in the day, people like Led Zeppelin, Ozzy Osbourne, they were known for trashing their hotel rooms, throwing out televisions out of the window, which just doesn't make sense to me.
Pushing pianos into swimming pools.
Well, you couldn't do it these days with the hotel room windows that don't open.
Sounds crazy, but it sounds. I can imagine most of this was drug-fueled. But Cliff Richard said he'd done the opposite, and he used to clean the hotel rooms. And there's this lovely picture of him looking very fresh-faced, and he's just...
Oh, hanging up his socks.
Hanging up his socks.
And I just loved that. I wish that more pop stars were like this, you know, instead of trashing hotel rooms. But
he actually cleaned them before he left.
He actually cleaned them before he left.
When you leave a hotel, I find it so... Oh, I haven't gone away for ages, but I find it so simple just to pull the duvet over the... Like, not tidy, I wouldn't clean, but I think it's so simple. Straighten to put... Because I've worked, you know, when I was a teenager, I've worked in hotels, I've done all that kind of chambermaiding, those kind of jobs. I think it's so simple to throw the towels all into the bath or whatever, push them all into the thingy, straighten the duvet on the bed, and just make sure that you haven't left, like, dishes and mugs.
It just shows a bit of respect for the chambermaid,
because someone still has to come in and clean and change everything. But just leave it in a sort of decent state.
And I think it makes your departure more smoother, because then, you know, you've got everything. Where if the whole room's a mess, you're guaranteed to left something behind. Your head feels in a bit of a haze, and I just think it's just disrespectful. Like, I can't imagine these rock stars of yesterday. I think they must have been off their heads, clearly. But
and they were kids. I suppose that's the thing.
And they were
kids with money and booze.
They're off their heads. Someone else was running after them, probably checking that they had some trousers and pants and their suitcase and their whatever. I was going to say phones, but it was before phones.
Oh, before phones. Oh, well, good old Cliff. Tidy. Let's have a look at the weather, should we, before we have a look at the forecast with Jonathan, because the Daily Star Sunday saying it's going to hit -13.
It's so depressing. All I can say to this story is, if you thought last week was cold, ... And you've been hearing that from Nathan all morning, haven't you? I mean, this is vile. It's going to be colder than Iceland. There's a yellow government health warning in place, and as you say, temperatures are really sharply dropping further. We're talking minus figures pretty much across the country.
Plummeting.
Yeah. It just makes me want to hibernate.
It really does.
The whole of January so far, I've just wanted to stay in bed and just not do anything, and that's not like me.
I mean, I know we do need to be paying attention to the scientists who say we've got to be worried and all the rest of it, but all I've heard this year is that it's going to be the hottest year on record, and all I keep thinking is bring it on.
Me too, Stephen, me too.
Which is probably not the right attitude.
I know, it's not, but I just can't bear any more of this climate change stuff when you are freezing cold and it feels, you know...
My little doggy, we've got a cat flap, really, but she's small enough to go through it. She goes out into the garden when she chooses. She sticks her head out the cat flap, has a look round, and if she doesn't like the look of the weather at all, she just
comes back.
withdraws. Yeah, it's so funny.
I think lots of us feel like that.
I think we all feel like that, yes.
Yeah, Timmy's doing that at the moment, meowing to go out. When you open the door, has a sniff. And then just wanders off again. And who can blame him?
Why should they go freeze that?
Well, I got almost a pet robin. I'm looking after my robin. I sent off for some robin food.
Oh, right.
And he's absolutely... I opened the window to scatter some of this seed, and he looked as though he was going to come in. So maybe he actually fancies coming in because it's warmer inside. I don't know.
Well, you never
but he's
know.
absolutely gorgeous.
Are they easy to look after, Robin?
Well, I don't know, but I bought this robin food and I now scatter it just outside my French windows so that I can watch him. And he comes like that.
Is it funny?
Not scared
They do
at
have
all.
a bit of sort of... They do get into a routine, robins. Sometimes like
It's
that.
definitely the same one. It's not a sort of...
Well, there you go.
The same one. It's definitely the same one, I can tell. I don't know how, but I can.
All right, Emma, Stephanie, thank you. We'll see you both a little bit later on. Let's see what the weather's going to do for you with Jonathan.